Call the Honourable Parakura Horomia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
It's a loud time.
Kia ora, e mihi koana ki te minita. Ke te tai tata atu tātou ki te otinga o te ture nei. Nā te mea e rochi iaku e taumahatia atu te mahi pēnei tonu, engari e pai ana ke te tai tata atu ki a tātou. I just wanted to take up on a couple of bits, Mr. Chair, and in part 4, the recognition of protected customary rights, and having listened to the Minister's summaries, I just wanted to make a few points and hope he takes note. One in relation to a protected customary right or customary marine title relating to a specified part of the common marine and coastal area may be recognised by agreement or order by court. And I think one of the things that we should say up front now is the cost in relation to this. And what I hope we don't get into is a continued litigious barrage where people just carry on sucking the pocket of the state, or worse still, costing iwi hapu outrageous sums of money for now. So I hope in the sense of this agreement and his summary and issues relevant to the court, and it was interesting to listen to his appraisal of why the High Court. And I think in relation to what Mr. Harawira said, it's quite right that what we must be careful, and I was trying to say this in a different way yesterday, that the tikanga and the tuku iho aspects need specific expertise. And I'd hope that the Minister would see it right to gather around him, or to ensure that there were able advisors or people ensured that the tuku iho and the aspects of tikanga that are relevant to Māori, that they have inherited over generations, not just through their genealogical tie, but through living it, practicing it, and minding it, that you have people who can decipher and ensure that it doesn't get put asunder by over-endowed legalese, even though that's what creates the legislation in this country. But there is a place of understanding and a place of...
I wouldn't call the Minister over-endowed.
The great Minister. And I hope that he'd make sure about that. This is the serious part where Māoridom would really, struggle with any mucking around with or trying to realign the aspects of tikanga and tuku iho. And it is a serious part. It is a very, very serious part. And that was the issue relevant to the usage of the Māori Appellant Court and the Māori Land Court, because it is their everyday business. They have practiced in it. It's like the Environment Court, it's like the Family Court. They have practiced in it. They understand the fundamentals and they understand the nuances that drive those aspects. So, kia ora, Minister. When we get down to registration and notification of agreement, and if we go to 2C, that we see that a copy of the agreement has to be sent to the local authorities, the Minister of Conservation, the Minister of Fisheries, the Minister of Māori Affairs, any other person, and Joe Blogg, who the Chief Executive considers is directly affected by the agreement. That's quite interesting. And I would ask the Minister, hopefully, how is he going to ensure true partnership and cooperation between all of those agencies, and how will he ensure that it aligns with the real needs of the iwi and whānau. And I just want to place that, but we know well enough about the internal indifferences that happen in agencies, Minister, and I hope that there is some template or some guidance to ensure that it doesn't end up like I've seen in my time about agencies coming together and it is all about their KPIs and outcomes, which is right, but at the end of the day, the last thing on their radar is to ensure that there is surety and there is positive development brought towards what we may need. In 101 Service of Application, the Minister said, and I was wondering, quite crudely, is there financial assistance in this area? Because a lot of this talk behoves the fact that there is a cost. And I think the worst thing would be to punish or to distance iwi and hapu from the opportunity because they got no pute. And I need to be as crude as that, Minister, and I hope that it's taken account of, and that we do recognise that the local authorities can put your rates up and get a bit more take. Mr. Chair.
I call the Honourable Parakura Horomia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm so thankful to you. And I would like to ask that, Minister, that there is financial assistance, because it is all too easy in preparing new legislation and forgetting that and saying, we will do this, we will do that. Now you Maoris go and apply, you register, you do whatever else, you build your plans up, but you just carry on and run a raffle and whatever else and raise the finance. So it's as crude as that. I would hope that there is a very clear direction sought by you. In the burden of proof, now this is an interesting one, Minister, and I've heard you wax lyrical on this 2 or 3 times in other situations. Now the burden of proof, quite certainly in this case, has to be about the iwi proving what they're claiming. And that's reasonably straightforward. Then, as you said, it's up to the Crown to disprove that, or to put spokes in the wheel and try to distort it, or not necessarily undermine it, or prove that it isn't as they claim. So again, apart from financial assistance, I think there's a fair bit of expert help that may be needed there, because it's quite easy for people to get up and claim because they know it through tradition and whatever else. But at the end of the day, Minister, I hope that you do recognise that. In 119, in relation to regulations for management of common marine and coastal area, the Governor-General, and there's going to be a great new Governor-General, and I want to really to the past Governor-General, who was a great man, and this new bloke, this new tangata whenua, he's going to be wonderful. Wonderful. And I just thought that it'll be great that he has the duty and role to instigate parts of this. And in all of that, Minister, it certainly is about the Governor-General and the Ordnance Council, the Minister of Conservation, but again, partnerships, How are the partnerships defined and ensured that, Māori will get a fair go? Because I have been, as well as that member of their tauhenare mortally wounded us yesterday by abusing us, it's really hard to take that sort of thing. You get it from Pākehās, you get it from the media, and to get it from your own kin, like tauhenare, it is very, very upsetting and undermining. And I think it's outlandish. Te Rōpū Nahinara said this, the Premier Key. National will look to abolish the Māori seats, and if the government does not legislate to protect ownership of the foreshore for all New Zealanders, then we will put forward our own bill. Now, there's something very mysterious here, and I want to mihi to the member of Tai Tonga and that other party, because if he abolished the Māori seats, and the difference in the vote here is about 3 to 4 seats, this bill wouldn't go through. So at this late time, I would challenge and plead with the Māori Party to change their vote. Because that's what he said here in July 03. We will get rid of the Māori seats. So he's waiting for you to sanction this, to get this through, and then he's going to get rid of the seats. Look, it's not too late. Seriously, it's not too late. You should turn away, because that's what he said. But that's what the agreement says. And in 04, Dr. Brash, who was the best friend of Minister Tau Henare, he used to stand by him on those placards, iwi, kiwis, all that stuff. He used to wrap it up. That's it. Brash and trash. They used to stand on the beach and yell out and insult Māoris. And he said, we believe that there should be one law for all, that we are all New Zealanders with the same rights and obligations under the law. New Zealand do not want to separate titles and development rights for our beaches according to races. And then he chastised us, Jerry Brownlee, who's doing a reasonable job in Christchurch, said, we do not favour a process that will give Māori a greater say than non-Māori in the management of these significant resources. National has made its position on this clear. Right from the start, we believe our beaches and our lakes should belong to me. That's what Jerry said. So I want to plead with the Māori Party. Understand what the Prime Minister said in 2003. He is going to get rid of the Māori seats. So I'm not too sure why you're making the difference in this, and more so chastising the public and boasting that it is your bill. Throw it in. Give it up.
I call John Boscawen.
Thank